was 17, I moved away from home, and I had only one location on my radar, Washington, D.C. I didn't want to be a politician or lobbyist. I didn't even know why I was going. I just knew I had to go, that something powerful was pulling me there. Several years prior, I took a trip from my home state of California to the East Coast. We saw all the major tourist locations, including DC. It was great, typical tourism, but something happened when I set foot in the Dulles airport. I remembered it. Everything was familiar. As we toured around the city the next few days, I recognized everything. The streets, the buildings, the doorways, the back roads, the benches, the exact color of the stone and the way it lay, the very energy of the place felt so familiar. I became intoxicated with the city, with the memories of it that I couldn't explain. On our final day, I stood on my own at the Jefferson Memorial, overlooking the gilded sky and the Potomac River awash with crimson from the sunset. I had to be here. It was as if energetic cords were binding me to the city. I saw unprompted flashes in my mind of buildings that didn't yet exist, people I hadn't yet met, and perhaps they hadn't even yet been born. I saw where I was to live, who I was to become, though I couldn't explain any of it. In my life, I have many past life memories. Anything can trigger them, from a smell to a word, and often they're just spontaneous. For the first time I was aware of, I was seeing things, remembering things that hadn't happened yet. I turned away from the fiery sky and stood beneath the statue of Thomas Jefferson. As I looked up at him, I promised him that one day I would return to fulfill my destiny. It's been 12 years since that fateful day. Although I can't explain it entirely, at least not on earthly terms, I've never questioned my choice. I believe I made it long ago, long before I was born, and I'm here to serve in some way, to be a part of something important. But for all these mystical and inexplicable experiences, it hasn't been easy. Everyone can relate to loneliness, and everyone wants to feel in control of their life. Seeing my future so often and so intensely was a slippery slope, and it sent me to a dark place. I couldn't step foot on the street without being overcome by future memories, by locations in the city pulling me so intensely I could hardly walk upright as I fought against their call. One of the hardest decisions of my life was the decision to leave. I felt like I was ripping out a part of myself, and I didn't know who I was without it. When I was 21, I returned home to California to seek respite from the constant visions. I wanted to be back with my family, my friends, everyone I'd ever known. It was blissful for 2 weeks. My dad got laid off from his job and had received a job offer in a new location, DC. I suppose I could have denied fate, stayed in California, but I had moved back to be with my family, and now they were being called to my old city. I felt like I had no choice but to return. Today, I see it as a gift. I'm meant to be here, and fate brought my family here to be with me. The visions aren't so strong anymore. I still receive them very often, but they're gentle, like a sweet touch instead of a slap. I respect the future and welcome it, but through seeing it, I've come to embrace my own free will, that although these things may happen, and several have already come to pass, I have choice in how I get there, and whether I reject or embrace the journey and the various paths that will all teach me the same necessary lessons. It's been a wild ride, but I am grateful because I'm where I'm meant to be. Perhaps we choose our fates before we're born, but that doesn't mean we're set going on a track that we can't change. We can choose how we get to our destination, and it's amazing how many things fall together when you stop trying to figure it all out. I believe that surrender and trust are the bravest things, and that by choosing destiny, we can never go wrong.